because we are going up, up. My name is Nina Moore, and I am excited to be here with all of you this evening. Super duper excited. I think you could hear my energy. I made sure that I put on a boost patch about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago to make sure that my energy was up for you all. We have something incredible to share with you this evening. I need you to know this is not just another average, ordinary day. This is not just another average, ordinary Zoom. This is not your regular Zoom. And I don't know about you all, but if you're ready to go up, right? You're ready for something to not be regular. Say me in the comments. Now, I'm going to tell you that my life changed immensely when I saw some information that literally somebody said to me, Nina, did you know that there's a way for you to share information with other people and get very, very wealthy off of sharing information? Well, when this industry and profession found me, you guys, I was broke and broken, going through a divorce. I needed something extra. But I want you to know what we're going to show you tonight is not your typical network marketing. So if you come in with that mindset, like this is one of those things, you're wrong. This is not just one of those things. This is the thing. This is the biggest thing that I've ever seen in my 17 years in the industry. Now, I don't know about you, but some of you, I believe, have been praying for a thing. I don't know about you, but I believe that some of you have been looking for a thing. I'm not certain who that is or what you were looking for, but I know that I was looking for something that wasn't a me too situation. I was looking for something that was going to catapult the way wellness is served to the masses of people. I was looking for something that was going to be simple and easy for people. I was looking for something that I could finally build that wasn't going to feel like a task or a toil. If you are excited or could get excited about building something that's not going to be laborious, right? A laborious. It's not going to be tedious. It's not going to be stressful. If you're looking to have some fun, to help some people along the way and make a lot of money, type me in the comments. Now, I'm here to tell you tonight it's more than just a call. It's not your average Zoom. It's a front row seat to the future of wellness. We're offering you tonight a front row seat to the future of wellness. Now, my husband and I have had massive success because we've always taken action. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Have all of you remember seeing companies like Herbalife, like Amway, like Mary Kay, like Avon. And if you remember those companies, they actually were super big. They were huge. And would you like to know why those companies were booming when they started? And that is because they were the first to do a thing. See, something magical happens when you're the first to do a thing. But what you're about to witness this evening is going to make you rethink what's possible. I'm going to say that one more time. What you're going to see this evening is going to make you rethink what's possible because Aunt Carol, what I'm seeing, I thought once was impossible. But we're going to show you tonight something that is possible. As a matter of fact, I told you I even have to use the word miraculous. Without making any medical claims, I can only give you the testimonies, and we're going to be calling on some people to give us some testimonies tonight. And so while I'm talking, if you want to give a testimony tonight and you know you can give it to me in about 2 minutes or less, then I want you to drop a 7 in the comments and we'll be looking for you when we open up to bring people to the line. I want to welcome you to the room where the bold gets free. See, because you got to be pretty darn bold to decide that you want to launch a project with patches. You got to be pretty darn bold to decide that you want liberty. You got to be pretty darn bold to decide that you want freedom. You've got to be pretty darn bold to decide that you want victory. I don't know about y'all, but you're going to hear about how this is now sweeping the nation and we're the first to do a thing. And because we're the first to do a thing, I don't want any of you to be tardy to the party. So I told you a little bit about me, right? I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a grandma, a former hairstylist for 27 years. I've had massive success. I've been in 6 companies where I went directly to the top, all in a row successively. Let me say that again. And I don't say that to brag or boast, but Tedra, I do say that to brag or boast. That I've been in 6 companies consecutively in a row where I've been to the top, and a top income earner in 6 this makes number 7. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't go to the top alone. I make sure that we plan a system, right? That's so simple that our 11-year-old could run it. And we plan this system and strategy. Literally, if you can patch and post, you can win. If you can patch and post, you can win. So let's go ahead and share some information. We don't want to belabor the time. We got to get you to see the demonstration this evening. So don't you go nowhere. Stay tuned because we've got something huge, something big for you at the end of this Zoom. We are here to build something big, generational, you all, that will transform the world, because anything else is a waste of time. We've got a mission and a vision with values, and our mission is to serve 1 million people patched. I'm not stuck. The vision is clear that we want to serve 1 million people patched. Now, disruptive technology has always changed the world, and it always will. What does that mean? We don't have a product, you all. We have a disruption to the wellness industry. I've been saying for years, let's ditch the pills. Let's ditch the pills, because we do know that pills don't absorb into your system right away anyway. We all know that although supplements are great, that after a while, those supplements, your body gets immune to them. So we're solving the biggest problem. And when we solve the biggest problem, we create big opportunities. Well, let me show you now that we've got really big global wellness problems. And here are some of the big global wellness problems that we have: poor sleep, aches and pains. Now, while I'm reading these off, I want to know if I'm coming down your row or coming down your pew in church or stepping on your feet, or maybe I'm driving down your block. If this is hitting you, or you know somebody who's dealing with it, I want you to go ahead and type a 1 in the comments. Do you know somebody who's having issues with calorie control and weight loss? Do you know somebody? Put a 1 in the comments if you know somebody. Let me know if you know somebody who might be going through perimenopause or menopause or menopause, which is andropause, and they're having mood swings. Let me know if you know somebody who, or maybe it's you, who needs energy because they've got low energy, or maybe poor mobility, aches and pains, anxiety and stress. Do you know somebody? Well, I'm certain that we do, because I know lots of people. Now, based on those current wellness problems, these are the current wellness solutions. These are the answers to those problems. Well, you got to change your life. First thing people say, some people have to have surgery, drugs, caffeine, therapy, diet change, exercise, over-the-counter products, and so much more, supplements, therapy. We all know that these are the options for us. But what if I told you there's a better way? Could you get excited about there being a better way? If you could get excited about a better way, type better way in the comments. Those wellness problems and solutions come with these current risks and challenges. They are many times hard to use. Safety concerns, they're invasive, the commitment required, non-regulatory compliance, side effects, contraindications, high cost, lifestyle change. How many people know that's big? Most people don't want to change their lifestyle. Well, what people really need. Now, how do we know that this is what people really need? Because let me tell you something. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stop sharing the screen for a second. You see, our CEO spent 16 years and $25 million of his own money in research and development. Let me say it one more time. Our CEO, Jay, spent 16 years and $25 million of his own money in research and development. So what our CEO has done is he actually interviewed. He put out some interviews. He wanted to collected information and data to find out, well, what is it that people really, really want? And this is what we found. All right, hold on. Let me pull that back up. I took it off my screen. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm not always the most tech savvy, but I make it happen. All right, we make it happen. And let me bring this back up to the screen. There we go. So here we go. Here's what people really want. After doing polls and questionnaires, what is it that you really want? I want you to write what you really want in the comments. Read this on the screen and tell us what you really want. What's most important to you? See, what I love is that these patches are safe for babies and safe for seniors. See, I love the fact that we don't have to worry about overdosage with these products. I love the fact that there's something for everyone. I love the fact that there's no lifestyle change. I love the fact that it's quick and effective, side effects free. There's been many, many years of research and development, tried and tested. You know what I really, really love, ladies and gentlemen? What I really love and what I'm looking for, Tedra, is something that people that are allergic to everything can take. What is it that's out there on the market for people that are allergic to everything? What can they use? How can we help them? That's what's important to me. Well, would you agree that in order for us to have everything that we want, a new approach is needed? There was time for a breakthrough. Is anybody picking up what I'm putting down? It was time for a breakthrough. And because it was time for a breakthrough, what I love is that any sufficiently advanced technology, right, in this is what? Indistinguishable from magic. You're going to say, well, what is it? Is it magic? I'm going to say it's a supernatural super patch, right? And here's the thing, 100% drug-free with more than 1 million happy clients. FDH registered. These little patches are trademarked. Quick and proven benefits with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. So there is no risk involved. With incredible results made in the USA, and yes, with 95% positive reviews. Because how many of you know you can't please everybody? How many of you know that no matter how good something is, that you're always going to have some people that have a negative review? How many of you know that there are some people that just won't use them? You won't use a product for the required amount of time to get achieve the results that they desire? How many of you know that people will go to McDonald's, write a bad review, and still eat the food? So no, there isn't 100% positive reviews because nobody gets 100%, but 95% is pretty darn high. Here's what I want to do for you. I want to explain what Super Patch is, but I don't want to explain it because I'm probably going to botch that up, right? I don't have to be the expert because the experts have created this short little 5-minute video. And we're going to watch that 5-minute video together. This is not the time for you to check out. This is the time for you to lean in and listen. And I want you to actively listen to this 5-minute video that this will explain the technology of Super Patch and how and why they work. Let's stay tuned and we'll be right back with our live demonstration.
On average, it covers about 21 square feet. Bigger than a typical door frame. It comprises 15% of your body weight and contains 11 miles of blood vessels. I'm talking about the biggest organ in the human body, your skin. And now, the Super Patch Company is unlocking the superpowers of human skin. Your skin protects you from invaders like germs, helps you regulate your body temperature, and allows you to feel tactile sensations like hot, cold, rough, and soft. In fact, the Nobel Prize was awarded to a couple of doctors who unlocked the secrets of our body's sense of touch and temperature. Imagine you have a tiny team of workers inside your body. When your skin experiences something hot or cold, or something touches your skin, these workers send messages to your brain telling you what's happening. They're called ion channels, and these sensors are the key to a new cutting-edge technology utilized by the Super Patch Company. This elegant and effective technology has gone through clinical studies, and the amazing results have been published in peer-reviewed science journals. And their benefits are game-changing. For example, let's talk about pain. The Freedom Super Patch focuses on pain management. Users of the patch reported a 72% reduction in pain within minutes, and the relief lasts for 24 hours. Here's how this amazing technology works. It's well known that our minds regulate our physiology. The autonomic nervous system and other neural networks, much like computer programs in our mind, control every aspect of our physical lives, from our heart and breathing rates to sleep and pain. But these networks can become dysfunctional or damaged due to factors like illness, stress, injury, or the environment. And when your neural networks stop working optimally, it can affect every aspect of your health. So to utilize these neural pathways, those ion channels, the Super Patch Company has been developing skin stimulation technology for more than 12 years. It's called Haptic Vibrotactile Trigger Technology, or VTT. Each super patch contains very fine ridges that stimulate receptors in your skin. Think of them as braille for the brain. And the unique patterns of these ridges help reboot a specific neural program. When these ridges touch the skin, the stimulation starts instantly correcting those neural programs, essentially rewiring your brain. We're talking about life-changing benefits. For example, more than 50 million Americans have sleep disorders. And according to the National Institute of Health, insufficient sleep is estimated to have a negative annual impact on the US economy of more than $400 billion. Studies have shown that people who wear the REM Super Patch for 2 weeks fall asleep 48% faster and get almost 25% more sleep at night. Every year, more than 36 million falls are reported among older Americans, and studies show that balance is the most reliable biomarker for longevity. In other words, if you have good balance and stability, the more likely you are to live longer. Studies on the Liberty Super Patch reveal that it can improve balance and stability by more than 30%. This is all done without drugs, electronic stimulation, or therapies. Most importantly, the patches are safe and easy to use. 100% drug and chemical free. No ingredients or supplements, and there are no contraindications or side effects. It's great to be active. It's even better to be proactive. The Super Patch, backed by research, proven by science.
I get excited every single time I watch that video over and over again. And the one thing that I've been looking into is how research has proven that when people are over 70, every 1 out of 3 people who may have a fall after the age of 70 is usually deceased within 1 year of that fall. What if we could help to increase the number of people who don't have to fall? who are over the age of 70? Can you think about somebody that you love, that you don't want to fall? You don't want them to have a high mortality rate because of a fall, and how this one little patch could possibly help them. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of the way for a minute, and I'm gonna bring some fun to the Zoom. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead over to Cherilanda, and we just call her Chi Chi, y'all. She is the first place winner of our 30-day plank challenge for Super Patch. She and I connected on Instagram, but what I love about Chi Chi is that she's a serial entrepreneur like myself. She's an international singer and a mom to a teenage daughter. I remember asking her, what is it that you love about Super Patch so much? Why did you say yes? And she's gonna go ahead and explain why she said yes, as well as do our live demonstration. Thank you so much, Chi Chi, for joining us tonight, and congratulations!
Thank you. Woo! First place, guys. Hey, how is everyone doing? I'm so excited to be on this Zoom with you guys. It is such a blessing. I've been in prayer for this meeting all day today, and thank you, Nina, for inviting me on. And I look forward to doing great and mighty supernatural things with you regarding Super Patch. Well, like Nina said, my name is Kyrondola Maduka. However, you can call me Chi Chi. And I am an entrepreneur and I'm a mother. And the one thing that really caught my eye about this patch is the way that it was changing the lives of the people that I loved. Because I started with the people that I loved first, my grandmother. And I was a part of a company in 2015. Actually, one of the guys who was high up in the company is actually friends with the owner of this company, Jay. And they talk on a regular basis. And I didn't even know that at the time. But this particular company back in 2015 had created a microchip, a hieroglyphic, how do you say the name? Hieroglyphic. I always get tongue tied on that. Chip that when you put it on, similar to this Super Patch, it can assist with pain. It can assist with balance. We actually did a strength test with that as well. They've since gone out of business some years ago, and there has not been anything else on the market to come close to it until Jay, who spent years developing Super Patch because his mom had MS, and he wanted to figure out a way to help his family, help his mother. And so he's like, if I can decode computers, he's a computer coder. He's like, if I can do that, then surely I can figure out how to decode the brain, which is one of the most powerful computers on the planet, right? So that's exactly what he did. So he did the research and found out that if I can create a patch that can partner with neurons, sensory neurons in the skin, help, I guess, stick it to the big pharma, because that's exactly what we're doing. So I purchased a freedom patches for pain for my grandmother who was having difficulty walking. She had to hold on to things. She's 82 years old, but she's used to going and moving around on her own. So I put the freedom patch on her back. I put the Liberty minutes, because you're going to see me do a strength and balance test with the Liberty patch. I put both of those patches on. She went from not being able to grip anything or hold her fist tight to being able to hold a pot of greens, because she was able to actually stand over the stove for the first time in over a year and cook for 45 minutes. Whereas prior to having both patches on, she could only stand for 2 to 3 minutes and she had to sit. So this has been life-changing, guys. We're so excited once again to share the product with you. The product that you're about to see in full effect in just a few minutes is the Liberty patch right here. I've got it. And you see here is an imprint on these patches, and we like to call it Braille for the brain. You know how blind individuals, they're able to read by running their fingers over an embossed area that decodes a sentence, right? So that's what this embossed print does here. When you put it on your skin, the sensory neurons decode it. So the Liberty Patch is actually amazing because Jay says that it is literally, he calls it one of, well, actually, I'm sorry, balance and strength are one of the biomarkers for longevity. So doctors and science and studies are actually showing that if a person does not have balance or strength or strong hand grip, that means that there could be a situation where their life could decrease in the end. So this Liberty Patch actually helps with that. So we're going to showcase that now. And once again, I'm gonna actually switch over to my phone, guys. So I'm gonna put this here, turn my video. All right. Can you guys hear me? Let me see.
We can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay. Let me near my computer. All right. Nina, can you hear me in two places or just one?
We could hear you. It's a faint. Yeah, you gotta probably put the speaker off on the other device.
Okay. Is that better?
That's better.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, come on over here, Josh. All right, everyone, this is Josh. Can you hear me? Okay, good.
Josh, we can hear you.
All right, this is Josh. And so once again, 30% better balance, 20% strength, and more vitality, just in this one little patch. This one little patch also is reduces stress by 31%. So before I put this patch on, I'm going to first go over a series of different tests with him. And we're just going to see how strong he is and how balanced he is without the patch. Okay. So first off, Josh, I want you to put your middle finger to your thumb. And I'm going to try to pull it apart. But you have to resist. Okay. Don't let me pull your fingers apart. All right. Okay. Let's come a little closer so they can see. Okay. He's kind of strong, but I'm able to pull it apart. Okay. Now we're going to do another one where you're going to have your feet shoulder width apart and fist. Okay. Now I'm going to try to push you over. Don't let me push you over. Okay. All right. All right. Let's try it again. A little stronger. Don't let me push you over. Okay. All right. Now, the next one, this is the last one before we put the patch on. I'm going to have you put your hands together, feet together to your chest. I'm going to pull you down. Don't let me pull you down, okay? All right. One more time. Okay. All right. All right. So everyone, now we're going to put the Liberty Patch on, and we're going to see what the difference is. Once again, this is 100% drug free. There's nothing in or on the patch. This is just the sensory neurons communicating directly with the brain, and it's going to work in seconds. Okay. All right. So we're going to do all that over again. Let's come closer. Fingers together. All right. I am unable to pull them apart. Let's do the next one. Okay. Feet, yes, shoulder width apart. I'm going to push you over. Don't let me push you over, okay? You feel a difference? A little bit. Yeah, okay. Let's do it one more time. Okay. There's a big difference there. Let's do the last one. Okay, don't let me pull you down. Big difference.
That's incredible.
That's the power of the Liberty Patch. And just like Miss Nina was saying, when it comes to the elderly, we want to give them that strength and balance, because once again, it's a biomarker. It's a biomarker. Grip strength is a biomarker. We can actually test people's strength to see how long they may live. So if we can increase the longevity of someone's life, that's what we want to do. That's what we want to do. Thanks, Josh.
Yes, ma'am.
How old is Josh?
He's 18. 18.
18. He looks super strong. You know what I want to say, Chi Chi, because we've talked a little bit, and both of us were kind of like over network marketing,
Yes.
and we had that discussion.
Yes.
This does not feel like network marketing to me. This actually, it's refreshing. That's the word that I keep using. It's refreshing. And I don't think there's not one thing that takes the place of seeing a person's face when they see that their strength changes immediately.
In seconds.
In seconds.
In seconds.
Wow.
And that's major. That's major. So this is that we have no competition, guys. Jay literally created a lane, and we're in a lane all by ourselves. And that's the beautiful thing about this business. You have no competition. We're sticking it to big pharma. It's basically like $2 a day for a patch.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm able to extend the life of my patches over the course of a few days. But I have several patches on. We're both patched up. But this is what it's about. It's about changing people's lives, bringing them happiness. Of course, we have the Flow patch now, which is sold out. So now, in order to get the Flow, you have to literally purchase it from one of the associates. But I mean, we have patches that are helping people with autism, ADHD, OCD. I mean, children that have sensory issues because they're autistic. It's changing their lives. The Lumi patch is changing people's lives who have rosacea, eczema.
I've been seeing those. I've actually been looking at those a little more, and I have Lumi patches, but I just said I'll just sample them out. But I actually think now that because I like being proactive and not reactive, that I actually want to start wearing the Lumi patch, because I've also seen the skin on people's necks like tightening up, and not just people with psoriasis or rosacea or anything like that, but even skin issues, eczema on around their neck and on their hands and things like that. And we're seeing that the Lumi patch is helping with that. I would probably pair that with the Defend to boost that immune system as well. But it's just incredible, and I just can only think about where we are at the very beginning, how important timing is, because January of 2023, we're early to the party. I don't think I've ever been this early in on anything, because even a company that I joined back in 2014, which is when I decided to be a professional network marketer, when I joined that company, the company was new to the US, but had already been in existence for like 13 years. So it wasn't brand new. This one, we're barely a few years in, a little over 2 years.
This is the third March that they've had. That's what Jay said on one of the calls. So this is just the third year that they've really been building.
Boom. Thank you so much, Chi Chi, for offering your time and your talent. Thanks for doing our demonstration for us tonight. You don't have to leave. Definitely stay on with us, but thank you so much. All right, y'all, we can't, and what I always say is, once you see it, you can't unsee what you've seen. You can't unsee what you've seen. And so what I would love to do is, she has no idea that I'm going to call her up here, but I've got a few people that I know are having a lot of success. A lot of success. I see Ashley Valdez on here. I see Dr. Bramwell. We're not going to end this without asking Dr. Bramwell to come to the line. But there's another young lady named Sylvia Flowers. Let me see if Sylvia is on here. I'm going to bring her up to the line with me. Let's add the pin. Sylvia, I'm going to ask you to unmute your screen. You should be able to unmute. Boom. Sylvia.
Hello.
Hi. So Sylvia,
Hi.
you were here Saturday in our home. I had no idea what was going on with your hands. And I just asked, could I do the stability test on you? Now you have become a part of the Super Patch family, but you
Yeah.
had just joined, so you didn't have any patches. You joined basically because of some videos that you saw.
It just came today.
Can you please share with everyone what was going on with you before you put the patches on and what happened in moments after you put the patch?
Okay. Well, as soon as I got to Nina's house on Saturday, she was gonna let me sit down in the chair and she was like, "Oh, I'll take the pillow." I was like, "Nope." I said, "I'm gonna need the pillow from back." Because almost now going on 3 years, I found out that I had stenosis in my back. Basically, it's just like arthritis, but it's in my spine, and it's so much pain because all on my right side I had so much pain. And when you were doing the stability test on me, I told you that I couldn't even close my right hand all the way. And that was like really, and I was like, yeah, and it hurts to squeeze. I can actually say I've been putting on my freedom patch and my liberty patch every day. And I can close my left hand with no issue, if you can see, because I don't know what you're seeing. But now look at my right hand.
Move your
Can
hand
you
back
see it?
just a little bit. Yup, we can see. Yup.
You can see, right? And
Mhm.
remember how it was like
Yeah,
this
you could.
on
You were
Saturday?
like this on Saturday. Mhm.
Yes. Now I can close my and everything. Look, it's just crazy to me. Can you see this?
Wow. So
And
what about the pain? What's going on with that?
okay, the pain, I'm gonna say right now, it's like maybe a 4.
Wow.
I still in the middle finger, I still have like a little pain, but all the other fingers, I have no pain.
Mm.
I have no pain. You should see me last night. I was trying to make sure I wore that freedom patch for 24 hours. I taped it and everything just to make sure that it stayed on for 24 hours. And I'm so happy that my minds finally came because I was down to 1 that you gave me on Saturday.
Wow.
So I have to absolutely say these patches, I believe, are going to save so many people. I told you when I joined this company, I joined it because of my husband. My husband have ALS. We on our now maybe 5 months with him having ALS, and he's not able to talk. He's very unstable. So I'm praying and hoping that these patches are going to do miracles. And like I told you, he doesn't like to be recorded, but I'm recording him. And as soon as we get that breakthrough, I'm going to blow up the internet.
Thank you so much for sharing. We'll be looking
You're
forward to seeing
welcome.
your testimony. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. All right, awesome, y'all. So I can't, again, we can't unsee. We've seen a demonstration, we've seen the videos, we've seen a video that explains what these patches actually do. You're hearing the live testimonies of why people are saying yes, what they're doing for people. And if you've had any results from any of the patches, can you light the chat up and let all of our guests know what the patches are doing for you? But I gotta head over to Apopka, Florida. And I gotta go ahead and add my dear friend and business partner, right? Dr. Nicole Bramwell. I'm gonna make you a co-host so you can unmute and get on. Dr. Bramwell, when have you ever seen what we're seeing happening right now because of Super Patch? When have you ever seen that with anything
Oh,
else?
this has never happened. I haven't even seen this like in the hospital and the ER, all those places that I've worked. I have never seen anything like this. And just I keep talking about because I know we get excited about that immediate effect, but what I get excited about is that as people continue to use it, that it is actually correcting and healing the problem. So I was just listening to, is it Sheila that was just talking?
Sylvia.
Sylvia. And so what she described, that stenosis, what she talked about is that there's a space, a hole where your nerves go through. And so she has stenosis, which means that it's more narrow, which means that any inflammation at all creates swelling and creates a big problem. Even in somebody else, it may not be such a big problem because they have a bigger space, right? And so what she is talking about is not only the pain going away, but that it is correcting whatever inflammation has occurred to make that space so impactful to her, that stenosis, and it is correcting that problem. Nerve pain is like the worst and the most difficult pain to address. And so I've heard people with sciatica, one of my new business partners, new to the team, she was having horrific pain. She had been not even going to work for like a week. And I kept talking to her. And today she's like, every day, better and better. I'm just putting on my patch. I'm putting on my patch. And so that changes somebody's life, because if you have pain like that, you can't walk. You know, Sylvia couldn't use her hand. If you can't do this, what can you do? You can't, you need your hands. You need to be able to do these things, and not without pain, because it limits everything else that you do. So it's going to affect the rest of your life, even simple things as eating or drinking. So probably drinking less fluid because you can't hold on to the cup because it's pain, like just something simple. So those impacts are really what's getting my attention. And, you know, when I had my women's brunch, my first women's brunch, that's when I gave out some patches. And they didn't even all tell me. They're like, yeah, put on the patch. And man, that pain that was in my shoulder. And I was like, when did you tell me? And then somebody else said, yeah, I put it on my husband. And he said that pain was gone away. And I said, y'all are holding out. But I just put it as a gift in their thing. And I did do a demonstration. And we had a huge demonstration with someone that had a double hip replacement and still had to be using a cane. And she took 5 minutes to go through the chairs, getting out to come to me for me to test her. But she went back like in 30 seconds without the cane back to her seat because her balance was, but she couldn't even believe it. And then she went and stood for the rest of the night helping her daughter at a catering event, which she told them she was going to come and sit down because everybody felt like she wasn't going to be able to do anything. And she stayed for like 3 hours standing up. So that, I mean, it's what it changes for people, not just that thing, not just the pain, not just the focus, but how it's changed. Ashley Valdez, her life is completely different. And being a pediatrician in a previous life, you know, and knowing the agony of parents that have children that have autism, just wanting to help and not being able to, and we're not making any medical claims, but the focus, I saw that little boy cutting something on the video, concentrating, like totally focused and straight lines. I'm like, how does that happen so fast? So this is really, really miraculous. It overjoys me because I know how many years I myself was prescribing, trying to help parents with kids with ADHD and other conditions, that they needed some type of behavioral control, they needed focus. And so those are the tools that we have. Man, this is amazing. I'm going to find all of those parents.
Dr. Bramwell, even Shakay Bush has told us that her son, who also has ADHD, is now off of his meds.
That's amazing.
So we have several of the children, you know, to people that are on our teams. They saw what we were doing. They saw what was happening. They joined because they saw what was happening with Ashley's son, you know, and they just believed. I want to bring Crystal Bowdry up here. Oh, I didn't mean to replace. Hold on. I got to bring you back up, Dr. Bramwell. I want to bring Crystal Bowdry up here. Hold on, Crystal. I'm going to unmute you real quick, but I messed up. So I told y'all, so you ain't even got to be perfect to do this.
It's okay.
Crystal, let me try to, I'm going to make you a co-host so you can unmute yourself. And then Dr. Bramwell, let me find you. I'm going to bring you back. I took myself off the screen. Dr. Bramwell, say something for me because
hey.
Okay, here we go.
How are you?
Back. Yeah. Crystal, would you please talk about what's happening with you? You have a huge testimony. You're texting me in private, but can you please tell everybody what's going on with you?
All right, first off, can you hear me okay?
We can.
All right, perfect. All right, so hi, everybody. I'm generally not one who likes to even be on camera, but I will give some credit to Miss Nina, of course, for introducing me to the patches. I've been kind of out of the game for a little bit and off social media and everything else, but when Nina introduces something, I'm always behind the scenes listening. So the Liberty patch is something that I absolutely had to have, but prior to that, I needed the Peace patch. And I had a very intense week last week. And I don't even know if Nina had known, but I had been following her and I placed my order and I did a bigger order and I got my patches in. And I'll have to say the peace patch because I am somebody full transparency. I have bipolar disorder. I have a couple of other disorders. I think I heard somebody talk about ODD a little bit, OCD. I have that as well, just a lot of different things, but I'm not one to like to take medication. With this peace patch on last Wednesday, I literally had it a run-in with my CEO. We were dealing with a bunch of different stuff, and generally that would have sent me in a tailspin for a couple of days, and I just would have been kind of out of it. I had my peace patch on my chest that day, and I forgot that I had it on. And I was like, why am I not going off on this man? Like, generally, that's what I would have done. But that day, the peace patch literally just had me at such a calm state that I was able to just run through what I needed to do. I had 3 other meetings that transpired, and I had peace the whole time to such a point that one of my coworkers was like, what's going on with you today? So I was able to give her the peace patches as well. And it's just been a huge help to her too. But to talk about the Liberty for just a second, I suffer with neuropathy and my toes literally do this, quite frequently. So I'm like trying to walk around. I don't like to wear flat shoes. I still like to wear my heels. I'll be a little bit transparent. I was able to wear this one all day today with no problems. And that's largely in part because of the Liberty patch. I've not been on my gabapentin. They had upped that to 900 milligrams before going to bed.
Wow.
I've not been on that now going into the 4th week. So that Liberty patch is huge for me. Anybody that has neuropathy, different things like that. Not only do my feet do like this, but my hands frequently, specifically my pinkies, do it as well. But this has just been something that's been, a rock star for me. So not only, am I now a big proponent of wearing the patches myself, I'm a testimony for everybody and everybody, people at work, because usually I have my blue placard in my car, which is my handicap placard. I don't need to park in that space every day now. So it's just been a huge blessing to me. So Ms. Nina, as always, thank you. Everybody else on the team, I'm very grateful to see you. I'll be back. So you guys see me on camera more because my eyes aren't bugging me. I have my glasses on now just so I can see, but the lights aren't bugging me. And I attribute a lot of that to these patches. So thanks for letting me share.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your testimony. All right, y'all, listen, Dr. Bramwell, I said you had to hear it, right? When she
I know.
messaged me, I said, wow, thank you so much, Dr. Bramwell, for always your willingness to serve and to give us, the information that we need to make more educated decisions. Thank you so much for your expertise. All right, y'all, listen, we can't unsee or unhear what we've heard, and we're just about done. I am going to go ahead and share with you all of the kinds of patches that we do have, because it's very important for you to be able to see the ones we do have. Once again, I did it again and took that chart down. Let me go back and I'm going to bring it back up. And we've already seen most of this slide in the video, so we don't have to go over what you see in these slides because all of this information was already on the video. What is Super Patch? What about the Brain Basics? What is it for the body and the mind and the thing, right? VTT technology, how to use it. You wear each patch for 24 hours. That is recommended by the company that you wear them for 24 hours and then you change them. And the reason why our company says change them after 24 hours is because our bodies have natural oils and dirts. And sometimes they get up underneath the patch and so if that gets underneath the patch, it's not working at its full capacity, and that's why. So what I also love about Super Patch is the find, and Dr. Bramwell loves this about Super Patch, that the entire board, the entire advisory board are all doctors. We all know that doctors don't like to share information that's not centered around big pharma. Let's just say that if it's not big pharma, it's generally not a conversation. But to know that our entire advisory board is made up of doctors, that was a yes to Dr. Bramwell, a yes to Dr. Dunn, and so many of the other doctors and therapists and nurses that are now on our team, as well as the practitioners that have come on board. All right, and so the Super Patches. We've got Freedom for Pain. And if you're listening, if you're watching this, if you're a guest, you want to write this down. Freedom is for pain. Lumi, as you heard Chi Chi say, is for your skin, right? For beauty. It's literally going to work from the inside out, right? But it's for beauty. Defend is our immune booster, our immunity booster patch. Focus is exactly what it says. It's to help you get focused. Victory is what I like to call the workout patch, right? The exercise patch, or the mobility for sports. Like, that's the way I look at that patch. A lot of our athletes are wearing it. If you're just walking, you can wear it, but Victory works a lot like Liberty. The only difference between the two is that the Victory patch is great for recovery from workout. So although the two patches work, they are very similar. The one thing that Victory does that Liberty doesn't do per se is that Victory helps with recovery after exercise. Ignite is going to burn up to 500 calories at a resting state, while Joy is exactly for that. If you are sad, I don't even want to use that other word, right? And you need a little joy in your life, the Joy patch is for you. Rocket is for sexual enhancement. It is also another one of the patches that is not an immediate, you're not going to feel or see a change immediately. What that means is, for men that are under 30, suggesting that you wear it for a couple of days before you'll see, maybe up to 3 days before you'll see or feel a difference in your sexual performance. For men that are over 30 up to 50, about 1 to 2 weeks. Men that are over 50, 2 to 3 weeks. Also, with our boost patch, which is for energy, which is actually on the other screen, that is a 12-hour patch. You don't want to keep an energy patch on while you're sleeping, right? Our REM patch, which is for sleep, that's a 12-hour patch. I don't know anybody that's sleeping 12 hours. However, you want to take that REM patch off in the morning when you get up, or you're going to be kind of melancholy all day and you'll be trying to figure out why you're so tired. Kick It is to help you break habits, whatever habits you might have or addictions you might have, whether it be nicotine, whether it be caffeine, right? Cakes and sweets and things like that. I will tell you, I told you we don't make any medical claims. I just see all of the testimonies of people that are saying they stopped smoking because of the Kick It patch after trying multiple other patches. Kick It works well with the Peace patch and with the Focus patch. Those are the three. If someone was really struggling with some form of addiction, then I would strongly suggest Kick It with Peace and really maybe even Joy, or Kick It with Peace and Focus. All right. And Peace is exactly what that says. Peace is going to bring you calm and give you that restorative energy, that calm energy, right? So you'll be at peace. So if you find yourself having a lot of anxiety and stress, then Peace is the patch for you. I told you about Boost, and then we also have Flow, but it is sold out. And we knew that it was going to go fast, and it did. But this is coming back, but it is sold out. Currently, you would need to buy this from a representative that may have some in stock. This is for memory and cognitive function. Memory and cognitive function. All right. You know what I'm saying? It's for memory and cognitive function. You don't have to not have a memory to use the Flow patch. If you want to remember better or easier, then you need this patch. So how big is the market? The market is this is a $500 billion opportunity. You know why? Because there's a patch for everybody. You know what else I love, Chi Chi? You know what else I love, Crystal, Dr. Brambo, Dr. Dunn? Is that there's no expiration date. You know why there's no expiration date? Because there are no ingredients. Because there's no ingredients, there's no expiration date. We don't have to worry about that. There's a lot of people that always say, well, is that the expiration date or the manufacturing date? Well, guess what? We don't have to worry about that. So you can choose a market that you want to focus on, or you can focus on them all. Whatever the case may be, you could make a lot of money and help a whole lot of people, even if you only chose to focus on one of these markets. So now what do you need to do? You need to make a decision. You need to make a decision. And I'm going to tell you that I'm a go all in kind of person, but I know that not everybody's a go all in kind of person. There's a place that you can find yourself, but you need to make an investment in you today. I want to ask the question, who do you know that maybe is in pain all the time? Who do you know that maybe has a child or a family member that with ADHD, with autism? Who do you know? Who do you know that's having trouble getting up out of the chair? Who do you know? Who do you know that's in pain all the time? Who do you know that can't focus? Who do you know that's going through perimenopause, menopause, andropause, which is manopause? We like to call it manopause. Who do you know that's going through postpartum depression? I did a Liberty test on an expecting mom the other day because guess what? Expecting moms need balance because their equilibrium is usually off, and sometimes they even have vertigo while they're expecting. To know that we have a product, Charisse, that can go on an infant or a 90-year-old. I'm super, super excited about the fact that we don't have to make a decision who we want to service. We can help everybody. So now this is your time to think about how you want to get started. We've got the no excuse way to get started, and that is that you can sign up right now for $1. Now, I'm going to call that the no excuse way because I don't know anybody that can't. We got $1 on the Cash App or something. Now, after you get in, because you really can join for $1, after you get in, then what you're going to do is you're going to log into that back office and you're going to go and look at the many packs that we have. I will tell you what my favorite pack is, and I will tell you the way that I started and why Paul, my husband, and I are having so much success. We started with the $12.99 pack. And the reason why we love the $12.99 pack, and I know that pack wasn't available for everybody when they got started, but the $12.99 pack will give you 40 packs of patches. It's a $2,500 value for $12.99. But it is the only pack that we have that's customizable. So you can choose 40 packs of patches. You can customize that pack and choose the quantity that you want of each pack. Now, it is up to you to make sure that if you choose the $12.99 pack, that you make sure you have 40 patches in your cart. Because the system will not tell you that you don't have 40 packs, but it will tell you when you've got too many. So make a list and know which patches you want. Now, for those of you that are saying, well, I don't have $12.99 on my credit card. Well, and then remember there's tax and shipping. But I do want to get started, and I know that I need some patches. Yes, you can get started for $1, but there are all kinds of flex pay options that you are able to use to sign up and order product. And our company, until Sunday night, has one of the biggest promos. As a matter of fact, they've never had a promo. Our CEO said he's never run a promo. And he's never run a promo like this. This is the promo. You can buy 3 packs of patches and get the 4th one free. Now listen, you're going to add all 4 packs to your cart. And at the last page of checkout, you're going to see that the price of 1 patch is going to come off at checkout. But you must add 4 to the cart. It's not going to say, hey, you get a free one once you put 3 in there. No, you add 4 packs to the cart. And this is a great way to get started. So you will join for $1. And then you will log into your website, which will be active the moment that you finish completing your information. And then you can go in and pick 4 packs of patches that you want. Add them to your cart. And at the checkout, and make sure when you pick your 4 patches that you pick the ones that do not say Smart Ship. Just don't pick the ones that say Smart Ship when you go to buy. All right, you guys. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to understand that simplicity scales because that is what's duplicatable. It's duplicable. All right. And I want you to also understand that duplication is not built on hype. Duplication is built on undeniable proof. We have undeniable proof that our patches work. Now, they work fast for some people, and they might take a little bit more time for others. What we're asking you to do is give the patches time to work for you. Every day, it's going to get better, as you heard Dr. Bramwell say, but make this your lifestyle. We've got no ingredients, no side effects, safe for kids, safe for elders, and expecting moms. You wear it, you feel it, you share it. I'm going to say it that it's that simple. You wear it, you feel it, you share it. You wear it, you feel it, you share it. All we're doing right now is patching and posting. And right now, while it's $1 to get started, there are no excuses. So unless you can unsee what you've seen tonight, and unless you can unhear what you've heard tonight, and unless you decide that you want to just live with pain and immobility for the rest of your life, and depression and anxiety and stress and all of those things that we could help you with, if you would just patch and get started now. So what we want to do is we want to welcome you to the family unofficially. We can't wait to celebrate you at the top, right? We can't wait to celebrate you at the top. We want to see you at the top, not from the top. Run back to the person that invited you here tonight. Get their link and get started now. Welcome to the family. Let's take over the world one patch at a time. Good night, and God bless you all.